My final thought is that if people are not laughing at your goals are too small. This is a quote from Azim Prajee. I'm sure I'm butchering his name. My apologies. But I think this is really, really eloquently talks about why you would want to start a startup and why startups are so successful, because they are fantastic goals. There are goals out there people didn't think could be even possible. For instance, Facebook, Uber, Airbnb. There's so many examples out there, and your idea and your startup could be the next one. So if your goals, your dreams aren't laughable, that means it's not big enough. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you so much, Chee. I know that we have a lot of questions lined up already. So the first thing I want to do is remind everybody that if you have a question, please go ahead and submit it to the chat box there. If you have another, or to the question box, I'm sorry, or if you have anything you'd like to talk about on Twitter, you can use the hashtag viaTalks. And then also to remind you all, this video will be posted online at youtube.com/viaprotect. So you'll be able to watch this and any other webinars that we've done in full length and in snippet form. So take a look at youtube.com/viaprotect. So Chee, the first question that we have here is, what part of fundraising surprised you the most?
It goes back to what part of fundraising surprised me the most. Is going through a fundraising process. I think the thing that surprised me the most is the amount of time it took. And that's why my recommendation is the moment you have an idea and you want to start a company, is that you start also in tandem, start fundraising, which is reaching out to all the different VCs. It's true, the West Coast, the East Coast, and the Midwest VCs all have their different flavors, and not all startups will be a good fit for all VCs. And so by starting your fundraising per se by talking to the VCs that are out there, then you're cutting down on the lead time.
Yeah, so how should a startup select their accounting system?
So how should startups start their accounting system? Definitely go with a SaaS version. And one of the biggest ones that we personally use, and which I think is really good, there's a couple of accounting systems that are for startups. One's called FreshBook, one's QuickBook, which could grow with your company, and there's many more. And I think just do your due diligence. Go online and say, accounting system for SaaS, because SaaS is the way to go. It's your information is available everywhere and anywhere, and if you start your accounting system from day one, then you'll have your records all on hand.
So as your company has grown and it starts to grow more and more, do you think you'll miss anything from the startup era?
As always working for big companies and then doing my own startup, I took out the garbage. I washed the dishes. I cleaned the office. So I kind of do miss doing stuff like that as I get bigger and bigger, because now I can't by myself clean the office. I do need cleaners to clean the office in, but it's almost a bittersweet answer, because that just means that the company is getting bigger, and yeah.
Okay, how long did it take you, because you said, you're not a techie yourself, or you didn't used to be, so how long did it take you to feel comfortable in the tech world if you didn't feel that way at the beginning, and what did you do to kind of get acclimated?
It's interesting. That's a great question. And I think what it is that for a tech company, the technology behind your product is pretty technical. For instance, Via Forensics, a mobile security company, it's very technical, but the concepts are not. The concepts are something that we should be able to have a layperson understand. So I think that's where my contributions come in, is that when we talk about product strategy, when we talk about who our audience is, we have to put those in terms of what my mom would understand, or my kids would understand, and not what a mobile security specialist who focuses on Android would understand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially given the audience. So did you ever think that viaForensics would fail?
Actually, no. I am so confident in what we're doing is that the thought of failure did not even hit. I think we came pretty close to when we talked about the cash flow of just having to figure out, okay, where is our next money is coming from, not because of what we did wrong, but like, for instance, during the government shutdown, the invoices would stop coming, so the contractors were also hurting. But no, I don't think so. And one thing I wanted to say is that failure is not a scarlet letter. I know that on the West Coast, when you fail a startup, they say, that's great. Well, what's your next startup? When you fail a startup here in the Midwest, it's like, oh, yeah, that person's part of a failed startup. That's not right. And because once you do a startup and it doesn't work, guess what? Those are lessons that you've learned that you could apply to your next company. And that just increases the chance of you succeeding the next time.
It's definitely something good to keep in mind. We have one last question, which is, what can a mobile startup do to protect their mobile apps and devices? Guess who asked that?
I think that's a fantastic question, because right now, our mobile devices are so personal that we don't even leave our home without it. And yet, we don't know what's going on those mobile devices. And so what we can do is try to find out what exactly is going on in your mobile device and which apps are insecure, and where are my information being taken. And the best way to do that right now is via Protect, and which is free, and you can download it on the Play Store or the Apple Store.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Chee. So for everybody who's listening, if you have any more questions, you can go ahead and tweet them to us at viaForensics, or you can send a tweet directly to Chee. Her handle is Secure Girl, but it's GRRL. So feel free to reach out to her. Otherwise, the video will be available on youtube.com/viaprotect, and we'll have full length as well as snippets. So we really appreciate Chee taking the time to do this. I know I enjoyed the conversation. I hope you all did too. And don't forget to go to viaforensics.com/viatalks and sign up for future webinars. Thank you.